The one with Dr. Wily as a dragon.
None of that is true. Luckily, I just started streaming, so nobody knows. Hey, D-Raf. First person here. All right. We are playing Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Is this the second day we've been playing? Because we skipped a
Yes,
week.
we've been playing 2 days in a row, but we forgot to
Two
stream the
days.
first day.
Yeah.
How foolish of us. It's still saying soon, by the way. Oh wait, there we are. Maybe I'm not live.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, it should be there now. People should be able to hear us. And
Yeah, but all they're seeing
enjoy
is the
the
silly
awesome
box
box
art.
art. Okay,
That
cool.
is that is ridiculous. How what's Palcom? That feels made up.
I know, right? Probably is.
The Japanese one is so bad, and that is supposed to be who's Dracula's kid? Alucard in the middle there.
Yeah, it looks like some guy at a Halloween party. Uh,
Yeah,
Um,
this
yeah, it's not great. And
what if this is like Jack Black when you're like that's the worst cover art in the world. They're like this isn't actually the cover art of the game you're playing. It's a tribute. Like these are a bunch of people at a party going as like how like going dressed up as if they are dressed up as that, and so that's why like it's like an old guy like us, like one of us
mhm.
dressed as Alucard. It's like
Yeah,
this is not the
exactly.
box art. It is just a tribute. I like it.
Yeah, and they're gonna go on about how they don't remember the original box art, but we've got two examples right next to us. So I don't know what they're talking about.
That's a really good song, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Um, we could do a whole stream just on that song. We can do that next time.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
I'm still debating if we should like watch something on a stream one of these days.
could do that.
Like, substitute teacher day at school.
Right? Yeah, we
Today
just
we're watching
wheel in the TV.
today we're watching Goonies. Although interestingly, we'll probably go down this rabbit hole as well because I like talking about my other stuff. So me and Jeff May did a podcast on Gremlins 2. It's one of my favorites, like the podcast, and the movie's pretty good too. Um, and that's the nerd podcast that you can find at the Jeff has cool funds,
Hmm.
cool friends Patreon
Very true,
feed.
true.
Um, and we did one on Gremlins 2, which was a lot of fun. And another movie that he's like basically said he knows he should like but doesn't is Goonies. And I think I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I've seen it a couple times, but it's just never been one of my favorites.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe one of these days we'll do a nerd on Goonies.
That'd be good. That's one where I don't know if I saw it when I was like a kid, like when it was kind of new. And I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched it start to finish. Like I'm sure I've seen the whole thing, but I don't know if I've seen it all in like one sitting, if that makes sense.
That there are things like to think about, right? We talk about that a lot on the show. We talk about that a lot. Where like because we're playing like nostalgic video games and reminding like the difference of the world, like where things were. And what I'll say is like that's a thing that people may not remember, right? Is growing up in another era where to catch something you caught it on TV and you might not have a VCR or a spare tape. And so like if you caught it, like you might catch it in chunks and you might just like never see it again.
Right.
And then also like this is a funny one. We didn't talk we okay, I'm gonna come back to complaining about Castlevania 3 first. The up
Okay.
design is the worst stupid thing ever because if you on mine I just died recently and what wound up happening is I jumped down with my awesome Sifa who's got like amazing magic and I went to use an ice spell that requires pressing up, but I did so by a staircase. So instead of casting the spell, she walked up the staircase and died.
Yeah.
And I know we've harped on that a lot, and this show might be no different, but just it is a remarkable design to have up be the requisite key to cast secondary and magic spells and combine that with um stairs being so fundamental to the game, and then have up automatically have you walk up the stairs.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's horrible UI. Whoever made that UI is wrong.
I mean, they were dealing with only 2 buttons.
4 buttons
If you
at
count start and
least.
select.
Well, also, I mean, and they clearly do because you can use it, and then also, also another funny thing. I mean, as we kind of noted about this game, the whole Metroidvania, where I kind of would just make the argument that really, and we've had this discussion a lot. I'm aware, and I'm aware it's also a popular like internet trope, meme, whatever. That just like Metroidvanias are just like Metroid, and really like you really would I would think that Metroid and Adventure of Zelda or Legend of Zelda Adventure of Link, those really have always qualified more as Metroidvanias to me. So like,
Mhm.
and Metroid for its first 3 games, like the first and third do not count as Metroidvanias, and we kind of noted this.
You mean Castlevania?
Yep, because I never get the names right. But yeah, Castlevania 2 is a Metroidvania, but it's because it ripped off Metroid.
Oh no,
And I know
remember? It ripped off one of their own games.
they were like, "Did you
That
rip off Metroid?" They're like, "No." It's my favorite for other people that might remember old things, but if you remember um Vanilla Ice when he's giving an interview about how Under Pressure was not the inspiration for Ice Ice Baby. And that's cool. We're gonna talk Vanilla Ice because the next nerd show is gonna be on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. And do you
Yeah.
remember who appears in that?
Oh, I
Remember who
do.
appears?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Kevin Nash of the NWO
Yeah.
as Super Shredder.
That's right. Oh.
But yeah, Vanilla Ice shows up in that, so we'll definitely be talking that. But all I was gonna say is it reminds me of that where he's like, yeah, I didn't rip off Under Pressure. They're not the same. Theirs is like do 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 do, and mine's like dee 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 dee. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And what's funny is on like one of the mini specials I've seen on that, because it was a very popular VH1 MTV kind of show topic. Again, for those that may have forgotten, like there used to be channels that played music very briefly, music videos. And then after they got out of that, they would do like documentaries about music, which is always fun. And Vanilla Ice was a very popular one to talk about. And like one of his lawyers was like, "Oh yeah, I knew if that song got big, we were just gonna have to pay like royalties, and it was fine." It was like a phone call.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was basically like, "Oh yeah, you got us."
So I'm having
The
a
end.
little issue with my game here where I can load the last state I saved, but then it's not
So
emulating.
Virginia,
Like nothing is happening. I can't play.
hmm, that is a conundrum.
Yes, it is. Because the previous save I have is from 7 days before that, which does work, but it's just this code. So I guess we did play this twice before, because I've
Did
got two.
you do you have your code? Oh my God, the
Um,
worst. Because if you remember the code, you can enter the code from the start.
I
If you want to if you want to use the best person, which is Sifa instead of stupid Alucard, I can give you my code.
no, we're doing
But I'm
something
curious.
different, remember? Yeah,
We're both just losing at this game. It's true.
yeah, no, I'm going to look at the recording of our previous stream and see if that has the latest
That
code.
is so nerdy. But
That's
yes,
super
it's nerdy. I mean, it's cool.
super something, some kind of
I'm not gonna say it's not cool, but it
go
is
back in
nerdy.
time a little bit. These just happen.
You're
Oh, now
you're
I can hear
telling
it.
me
Now I can hear us talking from the last time.
you're
This is
telling
crazy.
me you built a time machine
Yeah,
out of a computer.
that's what I'm telling you. All right,
Oh yeah, I was gonna
see.
say. So we don't have much of an audience tonight, which is fine. Looks like the regulars aren't around except Taraf. But what I was gonna point out is you and I get to join a club together which is cool. It's an awesome club. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about this tonight. We already chat a little about. You and I are both in the people who have been in a boss that have gone over 100 miles. Well, mine was at 100 miles an hour club.
That's true.
Which is cool. It's just very cool. It's a cool club.
And that probably sounds strange to people who don't know what a boss
How
Mustang
does
is.
well, first off, we only have your friends in the chat right now. Well, I'm not checking nerd numbers, so maybe there are people in nerd numbers who's like, he's talking to a phantom voice about riding in bosses at 100 miles an hour.
What does it mean?
But what I was gonna say is, yeah, it was a really weird experience because we went to visit my wife's cousin, my wife's mom's cousin. There we go. So whatever, anybody who knows like second cousin breakdowns and stuff. Oh yeah, so it's like go
162 kilometers an hour.
no, remember you got to convert kilometers to kilobyte. There's a joke here. I can't find it.
Is there?
Because you know, like I was trying to do like kilobytes. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's there.
Oh man, I think I might have to start over because I didn't get a last code. I just saved my state and trusted that the emulator would work.
Um. Oh, because you like didn't die or nothing.
Yeah, I just ended at the hmm. Hmm.
There,
Well,
no.
who would like to see the first
Well,
part of this game again?
I'm actually getting further than I ever have. And I mean, I don't know if you're wrong, but like on me, the first couple of stages aren't horrible.
Yeah,
Throwing out Nintendo Power idea. What if you holy cow. What if you look up a stage passcode for where you were?
that is an option. Um,
All right, so I didn't look up how to beat the boss, but I got to the boss. That's good. It's just the first time that's actually happened.
well, we have
Turaf
at
says,
least one person who would like to see the. All right, that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna start over. It's fine.
I want to see you fail
It's
at
fine.
this
Oh,
game."
I will fail because I didn't get any better. In fact, I got worse.
Oh yeah, we were
First,
discussing at the beginning. So like I went on vacation to Seattle. That's yeah, the full story behind the boss. So the boss Mustang is a Corvette that was released by the
it's
Dodge
no,
Corporation.
none of this. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Instead, since we're starting over, let's listen to this awesome intro song again.
Ironically enough, this car was inspired by Ford, who produced 420 versions of this song. Okay. All right. Well, I'll try. I won't make stuff up, but I'll definitely ask you to fill in the gaps. So,
Okay.
had a funny experience, and this is like funny. So, I was seeing my wife's mom's cousin, and just like randomly, we were like, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go home and see her husband," and she's like, and by the way, just hope he doesn't talk your ears off about Mustangs. And I was like,
I
"All
hope
right,
he
just,"
does.
and I was like, this is I don't know what to call this because you are the boss enthusiast, but
Mhm.
I am oh yeah, Zortank, so you on Blue Sky? If you are on, I am nerd numbers on Blue Sky.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
we should.
with apologies, I got my first invite, and that went to Brian Foster, my co-host of the Box Score Geek Show. If I'm hoping you've got enough cool friends that can get you a Blue Sky invite, but like if I get another one in a one, oh
Yeah,
wait,
Zortanks is my cool friend who got me a Blue Sky invite.
so you're on Blue Sky and you don't follow me? This
I
podcast is
only,
over.
yeah, I only follow Zortanks. No,
Actually,
yeah, I didn't know you were on.
speaking of which, I forgot to do any advertising, so let me go do that real quick on both. All All right. So what are you? Are you RixterGT? I hope.
I'm
Oh, you just got Rixter. Did you just get Rixter? That
no,
you?
I grabbed my name, first and last name,
Oh,
because I'm so worried about people also having my name. I guess I don't know why I did that, but that's what I
you
did.
could have gotten Rixter. You could have gotten Boss 420.
Yeah, I could have. Now, as soon as I can, I'm gonna
Is it
grab
just land? Is it
every
land?
name I can as if they are web domains in the mid 90s.
Wait, I can't follow you? Why not?
I don't know.
But I want to follow you.
Don't follow me.
But I can't follow you.
Why not?
Oh, Tanetemba. Follow. Thank you. All right. Twitch.tv/RixterGT. Going live. Already live.
Yeah, this happened.
Already live in the undead game. See what I did there? Of Castlevania 3 with @Landon Flom, aka RixterGT,
No,
aka
don't do the AKAs. Just
aka Bossman 420, aka okay, fine. I won't do it. You're a cool friend, but you you lose. All right.
I don't need
Twitch.tv. This is exciting. Like this is like what you come for, is to listen to me type.
Yeah, that's I'm enjoying this. Like at first I was like, man, after all this like basketball and sports talk, I'm looking forward to talk about some cars. But man, this typing, this is good. I like this.
Okay, so I just put your Blue Sky Social there on Twitter.
We'll see what happens with all that, I guess. I don't know what social media is.
Tweet. All right. Tanemba. Can you use it in a sentence? That's a lovely
That's
Tanemba.
a nice Tanemba.
So I don't. Okay, help me out if this is true, because I don't know. Oh, and while doing that, I got. Oh God, Sword Tanks, don't get banned by the mod. You're gonna get auto modded in the channel.
Every day.
But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just dying here. But I saw an interview with Richard Iowati, who of course plays Roy in the IT Crowd.
Okay.
You're just gonna let me get away with that?
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody. I want to see what happens in chat with this one.
It was a test. You failed. Richard Iowati, who is amazing, and then of course is great on the Big Fat Quiz of Everything. It's good stuff. And he had an interview where he claims he wrote a book about like the Gwyneth Paltrow movie where she just becomes a stewardess.
Okay.
And 8 out of 10 cats is great. And I don't know if it's real or not.
The movie or the book?
I could look this up, I suppose, but I want to see if Richard Iowati did write a book on I think it's like called View from the Top or something. Okay, it's fake. Because I was like, there's a good chance this is real, because that's what he would do.
Easy, first boss down.
I would read that.
Never die. I'm gonna do this start to finish. I'm gonna beat the game without dying once.
If Rickster does that,
everybody.
I will send you a box of 1991 NBA hoops. You need to go to bed, bud.
I've always wanted. No, I don't.
You need to go to. This is Daniel. Say hey, Dan. Say hi. Okay, go to bed. It's everybody want to say goodnight to Daniel?
Good night, Daniel.
She can't. You can say goodnight to.
Ladybooks?
Are those your ladybooks? Oh no, those are not. Here, but this is your boss though. You can have your boss car and go to bed with that. It's nothing, dude. It's like paper clips or something. Yeah. All right.
Wait,
and there's no cameras or nothing on. It's just sound. All right. Love you both. Um, was that exciting?
That was pretty exciting. Yeah, we had some guest stars.
So I like how I'm like, we're gonna talk boss cars finally, Landon. We'll get to discuss a thing that he likes and enjoys. We have some cool stories and some opportunity. I have a trivia question for you. I'm looking forward to in a second.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this because I had a car enthusiast ask me this question,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of those where he was like, I can't tell if he thought there was a prayer I would know the answer to. Like I would, he's like, hey, I got a quiz for you. Now, why is this? And I'll ask it in a second. And he was like,
Okay.
look, give me this look. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I have a friend that I've been texting to ask questions about cars. Very much like Mega Man, without all the distractions. Let's start over. Wife's cousin, her husband is a big Mustang enthusiast, and it was kind of funny because like his wife told me that and was like, he'll talk you out about Mustangs, and I had to verify. I was like, are we talking, the car or the horse? And she's like, the car. And this was a
The
cool
fighter
moment
fighter plane.
because very much like Landon, in 2012, Boss did a re-release of the Boss, or Ford did a re-release of the Boss car, which was like a super high performant car they released in late 60s, right?
69.
69. Oh, as late as you can get in the 60s.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a question because I asked him to explain this to me, and you've explained it to me in the past, but it's relevant. But anyway, I'll get there in a sec. So he bought one, and he actually has a 2011 GT as well, which is pretty cool. And at one point, he had a 1969 Boss Mach 1.
Not a Boss Mustang Mach 1.
I think so. Could be wrong.
No, I'm telling you.
What? So
The
what,
Mach 1 and the
okay.
Boss were two different.
Okay, so he had a Mach 1
models.
that's not a Boss. So he had a Ford Mach 1.
He had a Ford Mustang Mach 1.
What? Okay. I'm all the Boss fans. Like, by the way, I just lost you all of your Boss fans that were your regular fans in this because Boss is a type of Mustang. All Bosses are Mustangs, but not all Mustangs are Bosses, right?
Well, do you count the 90s Boss F-150 that they made for a little bit?
They made a
See,
F1.
I see. I would say no, but no. So yeah, what we're talking about is Ford is the make, that's the manufacturer. Mustang is the model, and then they have different trims like GT, Mach 1, Boss 302, etc.
So I meant to say that he had a yeah, very much like other mistakes. He had a Mustang 69 Mach 1 Mustang, and
Which is a very cool car.
you said it's an amazing car, and the way his wife tells it, like the fact that he had to sell it, like he still is sad about it. It was like a show car, and he took it around. And what he basically said is it was kind of like just a deteriorating house where it was just a money, like it turned into a money pit. Like he had to do something where he had to get some things below the engines replaced, like part of the actual frame. But then there were cracks in the frame itself, and then that was actually starting to pull down the suspension. And then of course, like he was going to need to repaint it. And so like when he took it into the shop, they were just like, if you want to keep this car, you're going to have to give thousands. So he sold it, and he's still sad about it.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
the
worth,
problem with
and
like old cars, right? Expensive to
but
maintain.
but it's
They're
worth
still-
saying that when his wife told me about it, and I texted you, you were just like, that is a really cool car. And then when I met him, yeah, he has all these pictures and stuff of it, of when he took it to the show, and he liked it. And then of course, very much like you, when the Boss model was re-released in 2012, if I understand this right, they released the same. It was a limited run in the 60s, and they released the same limited number in 2012.
Not the same number. It in the 69 Boss 302 is the most rare. I think there's fewer than 2,000 of them, and there were more 70s. And the 2012 and 2013 Boss 302s kind of mirror those, in that this 2012 looks like the 69, the 2013 looks like the 70, but they're the same number of 2012 and 2013 Boss 302s. but there were more 70 than 69s.
Very nice. Okay. And also, I discovered this. They released a couple models of the Boss 302 in 2012. The re-release. They released the normal, and they released the, I'm going to butcher the name, but Laguna Seca.
Yep. Laguna Seca. I don't know.
Seca, yeah.
Either, yeah. But...
And so what was cool is he was telling me that. He said, hey, he has just a Boss 302. And he's like, and they released the Laguna Seca. And I asked you, I was like, hey, like the 2000, I was asking you about, I was actually like, just like going like, hey, can you tell me about this car? And you were like, yes, that's the one I have. Because I just texted you, I said 2012 Boss Laguna Seca, however you say it. And you were like, yep, that's the car I have.
Right.
And I was like, cool. So like, yeah, basically this is a case where a friend of mine has a hobby. Someone else I know has the same hobby. I'm not an enthusiast, but I'm like hyper pumped. Like, I don't know what that is called, where you're like hyper pumped about something and know a decent amount about it and are willing to talk to other people about it, but like you yourself are not. Although apparently, other fun story from this guy, he gave me 2 Hot Wheels of the Boss that of the model car that you have.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me 2 of those because he just said he bought a lot, and we gave them to my son. But I don't need to let Daniel keep them. I can keep them. Don't tell him.
You have that authority. You can do anything you want.
I can just be like, you're grounded. I'm keeping your cars. He's like, what am I grounded for? And I'm like, I don't know. Give me your car.
You're like, I'm the one asking questions here. It's like, you're not asking questions.
But yeah, so he had that, and that's so when I texted you about it, you're like, yep, that's the car I have. And I think we've established, we're pretty sure I drove in it once, because I think we met up once when you were in Colorado.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain you've been in it.
Yeah, it's a cool car. And the only reason my defense, as everybody heard with Daniel, who made his first appearance on 2TV Gaming tonight, I had a kid around that time, which you got to meet him. He's a cool kid, and I'll sell you this. Like, when you have kids, like, your memory just goes. Like, you had a memory and you used to get sleep, and you just don't anymore, and that's just the norm.
It's just the way it is.
You're just like, I don't sleep anymore. I used to, but I don't. But yeah, so he took me in his, I got to talk to him. I got to text you back and forth to ask stuff about the cars and all that. So again, it was like very funny, because like he was treating me like I was a fellow Mustang enthusiast, which he was happy about. And I'm like, well, I'm very Cyrano de Bergerac-ing this. I'm asking someone who's giving me information to say to you, but I'm also genuinely interested. Like, I'm not cheating, because I want to know, like, I want to have this discussion. But yeah, he took me out at one, like, his car, he's done it such, he's got it in storage. It's never been in the rain. It's a pretty cherry ride.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun. At one point he did let it go out to about 100 miles an hour. And he was saying one of the cool things that came with buying the car is you got to take it out on the racetrack.
Right.
Like Ford, like, how much of that was comped? Because you said you took your dad.
So you have to pay your own way to get there. What they did is they had a deal with Miller Motorsports out in Utah, kind of outside Salt Lake City, called the Boss 302 Track Attack. And so included in the car was basically a 2-day event at this track where they teach you how to drive the car. And they kind of do this meet and greet, and they have this amazing car museum, or they did. I believe they shut down, sadly.
Oh, that's a bummer. Where was that located at?
It was just outside Salt Lake City. I don't remember the
cool,
like the closest town. But...
that would be a fun trip at some point. But anyway.
Yeah, and it was, and yeah,
there.
so and it was for you plus a guest, and then you just had to like deal with your own travel and accommodations. And yeah, so my dad and I, we road tripped out there in my Mustang, in the Boss 302 I'd bought. And I was the only one who did that. I'm the only one who showed up like in the car that we bought to get there, which I thought was a little funny. But
well, again, I'm curious. Like, for instance, the guy I saw, like, his is in a garage. It's actually won a couple like best in shows, like at various car shows or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was explaining that that's obviously very, the way to do that is very nebulous, right? It's kind of like up to whatever the judges want to say, and it can just be like,
Sure.
he said somebody put an A&W root beer sticker on their car, and some teens were judging the event, and so the teens just liked the sticker, and so this guy in like one of the worst Mustangs won it because of stickers he had on the car. Or he had an A&W sticker, and then he put up like he made it look like a fake like serving, like a thing that could serve A&W root beer but couldn't. So it didn't even serve you root beer, it just looked like it could. And the teens were like, "Oh, that's cool."
Hilarious.
They were like, "This is not." They're like, "Your award is not real. No one respects your award, Jim."
Yeah, they are pretty arbitrary, is my understanding.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
But still
part
cool.
Of the fun, probably. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing is he's kept it like in a garage, doesn't take it out in the rain. I don't know how many miles he has on it, but that is pretty cool that you did that, by the way.
Yeah, like they kind of came about after. So my brother and I had a lot of conversations about this back in the day, where we kind of blamed Barrett Jackson auctions for the price of classic cars and muscle cars like just skyrocketing like in the early and mid 2000s, because they would sell for like $100,000-$200,000, and so everybody with like an old Mustang or Challenger or whatever would be like, "Man, I've got a $200,000 car." It's like, no, you don't. But then they all kind of decided they did, so they all got expensive. And so that led to, hey, muscle cars are great investments, right? They're great collector items. And so now when companies come out with these kind of cars, everyone just hangs on to them and they stores them. They keep them low mileage and they don't drive them. And people can do whatever they want with their cars, right? It's theirs. But like, so for mine, I'm trying to keep it fairly low mileage just because I want to keep it nice and I don't want it to get worn out. But I do drive it, right? Because there's, especially the Laguna Seca like mine, because they only made like 750 of them.
That's you have a 1 of 750 car. That is so cool.
Yeah, the real number is like 766 if you count media and pre-production cars or something like that. But anyway,
okay, sorry. By the way, we're definitely gonna unfortunately wander back to like the classic nerd territory at the end of this with like comic books and stuff, because like you're telling the comic book story, which is hilarious to me. But what I was gonna say is like special numbered run comics and stuff. Do you have a number of what yours is, like X of 750 or what is it? What do you got?
Mine's the number 308. LS.
That would have been so cool to get 302. Whoever got that had to be so psyched.
Yeah, I bet that one's a little more sought after. But
308's pretty cool. And so, by the way, in a few years when I'm riding my Boss 308 because I tricked Landon into riding for pink slips against my Subaru Outback, you'll know what happened.
Like, why did I race him in the snow?
Your car would probably still win. They're pretty like, I mean, and I didn't. To my understanding, the Seca, however you say it, I've got to be making all of your Dodge fans.
Dodge.
I don't know why you put up.
Game.
I don't know why you put up with me. I'm just trying to distract you so you'll lose at Castlevania, and we're both losers. So I don't even know why that matters. But
you heard it here first. We're both losers.
We are.
That's a load off my mind. I can just relax.
You've been watching us play, you know that. But all I was gonna say is, yeah, he had like the base, and he said yours was like a slightly better one. I mean, with the right tires, I would be willing to bet that sucker would crush me in the snow, right?
Yeah, maybe if I put snow tires on it. Like if we're actually talking the snow, it would take a while, right? Because yours is all-wheel drive, so you just have such a massive traction advantage on a loose surface like that.
All right, so I'm tricking you into giving me the secret of how to defeat you for pink slips.
Wow. Oh,
incidentally,
my father.
Because that's the game. That is all this game is. This game is called Fall Off Stairs.
This may be as far as I get, but
the original
but I'm
oh, God.
what? I was just gonna say that. Well, no, no, go ahead, please.
Are you doing this on purpose? I was playing this game with my kid earlier today, and I'll say this is immature, and I shouldn't admit to this, but I was playing the game of like my kid was saying something, and I would say the exact thing he was about to say. Like, he'd be like, and so you can hear it start, and so you say it to them. And it was hilarious, and that he was pretending to be mad, but laughing so hard at it. And because he did that, I kept doing it. Anyway, I'm a great dad. All right, but what were you saying about the car?
Just now I was just gonna say even though I'm doing bad at the game, I'm having a great time like being able to talk about cars. I don't feel like I get to do that enough.
Yeah. It was like, and this guy was like shocked. Like his wife's like, I hope you don't mind if he talks about cars. And I'm like, you are not ready for me. And then he was like, do you want me to drive you out? Yeah, you like, we had to drive to the garage to pick up his car. He took me for a ride. That, to my point, like, okay, we get off on one of our other fun tangents because you and I were having this discussion. Like, he was bringing up that it has like high performance race car wheels on it, like his did. And so, he took a couple turns fast just to show like how well it gripped the road.
Mm-hmm.
And what he was telling me is that he has like soft tires on it. That, of course, that's another, to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of, collector's item, don't drive it just cause.
Mm-hmm.
But like I also understand, keep it in good shape for shows. So I completely understand what he does. Cause like, I guess what I'll say, if you get something like the Boss, is like, you better get a use out of it. And so, he goes to car shows regularly and
Yeah, and
talks to
that's
other
awesome.
enthusiasts and gives friends and family rides in his car. And he said like, it was actually his GT, but he has another car in the same garage. But like his niece, like he was teaching her how to drive, and she needed to learn how to drive stick.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he shows up in like one of his sports cars and is like, we're going to learn how to drive in this. So it's like, I will give complete respect, keep it well maintained, but still get use out of it, not just, save it and hope it's an investment.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Like and if people want to buy cars, just to take to car shows and be part of the community that way, that's also, that's a great thing to do, right? Like it's a hobby, it's a culture, it's a community thing, it's fun. It's not like you have to buy it. If you buy a performance car, it's not like you have to take it to the racetrack every weekend.
He does that too,
or ever.
And he volunteers at the racetrack too. So
that's awesome.
Like,
Sounds
it's
like
cool.
A really cool guy.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. This is one of those I'm like, Landon should really be here, but I'll pretend. If you're ever in Seattle, let me know and I'll get you his contact info.
Sounds good.
And I actually think he would be fine with that if I'm just like, hey, my friend's going to show up and wants to talk. Like, and I would guess you might even, like, if you did that, you might road trip. So, like, you show up in your Boss, he's got his Boss.
That'd be fun. We'd, like, go to the track. Yeah.
Yep.
It is sort of a bucket list, just as a quick aside, a bucket list item for me is I would love to take my Boss 302 Laguna Seca to Laguna Seca someday. Because Laguna Seca, for those who don't know, is a racetrack out in California. And so, like, the car is named after the racetrack from its old Trans Am days back in the 60s. And so it's like, even on the back, on the fake, oh my god, this thing's gonna kill me. On the fake, like, gas cap that they put on the back of them. It's got like...
Wait, what? There's a fake gas cap?
It looks a little bit like the Mustangs just have that. Normally it'll say like GT or have like the Mustang logo or something. But the Laguna Seca has a drawing of the Laguna Seca track, like, which is, I think, is the coolest thing in the world.
So, like, how hard is that?
What?
Like, to do that? Like, do they have like open?
Oh yeah, they do. Most tracks will do like.
In a few minutes, watch my screen. I get to the Boss and the trick, and I'm perfect. I have full life. The trick is you're supposed to throw the holy water at the Boss and kill one immediately, and the other one's easy. And I don't know how far on the past I am because I'm watching your stream, so your stream is lagged and then mine's lagged to yours. But that was an impressive way to handle literally the perfect scenario that I had. Yay. This game is stupid and we're losers. Okay, so sorry, I was asking like, yeah, like if you drove to California and wanted to, do they have like open track days or whatever? Or...
Yeah, they do like amateur, like high performance driving days and things where it's not racing, you're just out there, um, yeah, just with the opportunity to drive on a track. So, um, the
Yeah,
the the big
like how
issue
hard?
is, well, it's not hard. The issue is it's a long ways from where I keep my car, and so it'd be. Oh, I knew I was gonna go through those stairs.
All right. Hypothetically, where do you keep the car, and what are the security codes if someone was trying to case the joint to get it?
Undisclosed location, and no,
Do you
but
got it in Colorado or New York?
it's in Colorado.
That's not
Um,
too far from Cali.
well, it is if you're gonna take it to a track and hope nothing breaks, right? So like really on a road trip that far where you're going to take it on a track, you should maybe tow it or have like another person with you, or I don't know. But it would take some logistics just to like do everything safe.
I can't remember how
But
much it cost because we actually had to do that. We had a Nissan Leaf when we moved to Wisconsin, and I just, didn't trust that it was gonna, it wasn't a case where I thought there were enough charging stations
mhm.
intermittently to make it. So we had it towed. I don't remember it being like prohibitively expensive, but I mean, I think it was like $1,000 or something.
Yeah, it's not actually that expensive to ship a car. Um, but I don't know. I will try to do that sometime in my life. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you should. I mean, like this is one of those where you're like
Because
bucket list. You're like
um
bucket list item, and I'm like, yeah, you should just do that.
because Laguna Seca is more than just the track on the car. Um, that has been my favorite racetrack since Gran Turismo 2 back in like 1998. It's just I always thought it was a cool track. I don't know what it was about it. It's challenging in the game, and it just always kind of grabbed me. And so I've liked it ever since. And so when they make my favorite version of my favorite car with a version of dedicated to my favorite track, it felt like they made the car for me, to be honest. Like it was
Kind of
so
really
random.
did.
It was so crazy that that car exists, you know. But and it was not an easy car to get, um, because they were limited, and so in Ford's attempt to prevent dealers screwing over the customer, they made it a lottery system. So dealers were basically playing the lottery, and they would get an allocation or they wouldn't.
Oh
And
yeah, how did you
so,
get yours then? I want to hear this story.
well, so I
He
knew that.
said right before Landon was clearly about to tell the story to act like it was his idea, but it wasn't. Anyway, continue, proceed.
So, um, basically, I was keeping an eye on what Mustang or on what Ford was doing for a long time because I always liked the Boss 302, and in the early 2000s, Ford brought back another nameplate, which is the Mach 1. So they made the Mach 1 in 2003 and 2004, and I always liked those, and I almost bought one of those used because I was in college when they were out, and obviously I had no money. But so that was gonna be like the car I was gonna buy when I graduated college. But
Do
then
you still have that? Do you still? You had a Mustang in college, right? Like the black one. Am I wrong?
I had a black one. Yeah, I had a
Do you still have
1988.
it, or is it?
No, I sold that um, not long before I got my boss because I had two cars at the time and I lived in an apartment, and it was that thing was also like a project that was just kind of taking money. So I was always
Yeah,
kind of
it's a
sad
bummer.
to get rid of it. But
I was gonna say you and I always have. I've done this like 20 times now. You don't get the stopwatch here. I have an easy route. I just don't know this level
oh
enough.
look,
Anyway,
I'm at Dracula.
yeah,
Yep, we're gonna do this every time.
I kind of have earned this, but that's fair. Okay, so anyway, you were watching what Boss was doing. They had
Right,
released the Mach
as looking
1
at
in
Ford was
'03 and
doing.
'04.
Yeah, and
You were looking what Honda was doing.
I didn't care what Honda was doing. And so they released the Mach 1, so they were like starting to do this, bringing back the old 60s nameplates. And then in 2000, and so like for years from 1996 until 2010, 2010, I think. I could be wrong about the years. Ford used a 4.6 liter V8 for their GTs, and then they came out with a 5 liter, I think around 2011, and that's when I knew they were gonna be making the Boss 302 because 5 liter is a 302. And then somewhere along the lines, we stopped measuring things in cubic inches and started measuring them in liters. Anyway, so I was like, oh, they're totally gonna make the Boss 302. So I started saving my money, kept like an eye on the news and everything. And as soon as they announced it, I went to like 3 different Ford dealers in the Denver area, and I said, hey, Ford's gonna make this car. I want to put my name in. I want to put some money down to get one. I want to be the first in line. And they're like, okay. So I was, yeah, so I was first in line at like 3 different dealers to get this car. And
Did now question? I mean, I think I know the answer, but did you get all 3?
I got 2 of them.
You did?
I got the call from 2 of them, but I'd already made a deal with one of them, which turned out to be a mistake. I'd never bought a new car before or since. I, as much as a car guy as I am, I've only owned like 4 cars in my life. Like I just cars are expensive, right? So you don't buy them very often. But anyway, and that's like a whole nother story, and it's kind of negative. I don't want to get into it, but the dealer got one. I ended up getting one from this lottery, and they made them in 2 colors, black and silver, and got the black one. So
The black one's much nicer.
that's the
And
one
I
I
know
wanted.
that
The silver one's super rare, but
yeah, because it's interesting. Like that happened. So the Converse back in the day was a big deal. They got a joint shoe deal between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and they did a commercial together. And Larry Bird said the only way he would do the commercial is if Magic Johnson drove to his house. So they shot the commercial at Larry Bird's house, which
that's
is awesome. But the Larry Bird version of the shoe was gold or I don't know language. I don't. It must be hard to talk to me because I'm like, the word I just said. That is not even the word I meant. The Larry Bird sneaker was green and white after the Celtics because their colors are green and white, and the Magic Johnson one was like yellow and purple because that's the
Okay.
Lakers color, and just green is a nicer looking color. So the Larry Bird, I don't think anybody would disagree. The Larry Bird Converse is better than the Magic Johnson Converse, but I wouldn't be shocked if like sneakerheads were like, "Oh yeah, it's harder to track down the Magic Johnson Converse because they produced less of it because they had to make fewer runs." Okay, by the way,
Makes
I
sense.
apologize, Sword Tanks. We wasted all this time talking about Landon's awesome cars with his awesome car stories that I really enjoyed. I can't even be sarcastic. I'm 100% real. But yes, Richard Iowati did in fact release a book on a critical reading of View from the Top, Gwyneth Paltrow's movie about wanting to be a stewardess and becoming a stewardess. And apparently that's the movie. I know Mike Myers is in it. And I'm obligated to read this book now. So got that on the docket.
There you go.
Oh yeah, okay. So ready for the trivia question?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he had a 2011 GT and a 2012 Boss 302. He was kind of explaining to me, and I'll probably make you cry, that like they're pretty similar cars in many regards.
Yes.
Like, and you would know better the exact similarities. So he pops the hood on both. Pops it on both. And it's like, these cars look almost identical, right?
Yeah.
And I, of course I'm like, I'll take your word for it. You could be lying to me and be like, gotcha. And I'd be like, good one. You got me. His 2011 GT had more wiring on it than the Boss 302. Despite being close in years, 2011, 2012, very similar engine, very similar, body and stuff. Any idea why there was more electrical wiring on the 2011 GT? I will give you a hint. I met these people in Seattle. Oh, Washington. Not undisclosed location.
Well, there's more wiring.
Yep, there was
Uh,
more wiring. If you like popped the hood,
oh
his
man.
2011 GT, there's just like more wiring underneath the hood. And you might like if you actually like looked at the engine, you might be able to get it because you'd be like, oh, that connects to the Liberfluxer, which does the this and that.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yes, that.
That is a thing. Um, but yeah,
Does being in Washington, is that a hint? That's the hint?
that is a hint.
Jeez. Being in Washington. Does that matter? Does it have a Man, I don't know. That's
Okay, I'll give another hint related to it being in Washington.
okay.
One of the good things about Washington is there is a routine ferry to other places in the United States.
Okay. Does it have like a routine ferry? Is it a built-in battery tender so it doesn't die?
That is really close. Not quite, but it is related to needing extra power for some reason.
Because it powers the ferry. They drive the ferry with the cars. Yes.
What
It all makes sense now.
the
Oh
hell
my
are you,
god, I want to
what are you talking about? So the car, I'll give you one more hint related to that. So the car actually did get there on a ferry
Mm-hmm.
that comes to Washington.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
That's all I'm giving you. More than that, it might be too obvious.
comes on a ferry. Needs
Does need more power.
does need more electricity, right?
Yep. It's got to power something.
It's got a power. Oh no. It's got power locks.
Yes. Well known that you need power locks in Washington. So the car's from Alaska.
Okay.
And it turns out that it is actually mandated that you have warming for the oil so the oil doesn't freeze. So it actually has to have a built-in oil heater so that the oil doesn't freeze being up that far.
You know, well,
Are you going to
this,
say, oh, yeah, that was
this
my next guess after Drive
I
the
was actually
Ferry?
thinking that, but then I was like, wait, it's not a diesel because diesels have like a, a plug-in to like for their engine warmers, yeah, for that reason. But I didn't know gasoline cars needed that in Alaska, which is not Washington, by the way.
Yeah, I told you
So
about
I
the
don't know. So
ferry.
I don't know what kind of hint that is.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when you spent like 3 hours talking about how the car was used to drive the ferry? The ferry that I very explicitly told you about?
And then
I
he
was
said,
like,
no, the hint is it's in Washington, right? Because it needs this for Alaska. Yeah, that all makes sense.
the thing about this is, while you're arguing, we both have a recording of this, and I was like, it's in Washington, which is a nebulous hint. Washington is important because it has a ferry. If you know U.S. geography, you would know that like Washington is a common port to get to Alaska because I said a ferry to other parts of the United States.
Yeah, to, not from. I thought they were gonna ship it somewhere, like
Yeah,
Louisiana.
and maybe they were going to ship it somewhere, and if they were shipping it to Canada or Alaska, they would have to still do that.
Well, you know what?
This is
I've got
exciting
nothing.
listening here on two
That, that,
TV.
that, 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 that is a cool piece of trivia. I didn't know that.
And again, I'm just getting enjoyment because like I had the same moment with like Moore. He's like, and I'm like, I was
You're
like,
like,
I'm never going to
okay.
get.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm never going to get this.
Um, can you remind me what direction I need to go here?
Okay,
So
what
for
level are you
anyone
at now?
who's actually watching us play the game, this game has branching paths. It's all like linear, like you go one direction, like you can't go back
Like
exact
the boy
unless you
band.
go.
And I really wish I knew any One Direction songs. So I would have started singing one right
I
there.
I
And
don't
the
know.
only reason I didn't is because I don't. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so let me see.
So I just got Alucard, who's not Dracula. He's Dracula's son. You know this because it's Dracula spelled backwards, which is a common father-son thing to do.
Yeah, my dad was dad, and I am dad.
There you go.
Okay.
So I went with Alucard for two reasons. One, just to do something different than what Dre's doing because he got Sypha, and also Alucard is awesome. This is his first appearance in a game, but he is the main character in Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
So you did Alucard 2, I'm guessing.
Alucard 2?
Tower of Terror, what? Causeway. Game script. So I'm looking at CastlevaniaCrypt.com.
I can also just make a decision and go somewhere.
You should just make a decision, but I'll look it up and tell you you're wrong when you're done. Game facts.
I'm trying to remember what I did last time. I'm gonna go down
Died
because I
a lot.
kind of like
We both did that.
kind of like columns, and there's some columns down here. That seems neat.
I was watching a speedrunner video.
Ah, and this puts me right where my old save state was. That wouldn't save. That wouldn't load. All right, back in business. Back where I was. Let me save again. And watch it never load.
Okay.
Oh no, it hung up. Oh, wait,
okay, you either if you take the lower path gets you
Oops. Instant death apparently. I already took it, so I hope something good.
Did you take the upper or the lower?
The lower?
Lower is correct. Good job.
Nice.
Because upper, just like you have to finish up the stage, like upper you basically backtrack, and lower you get on with the next level. So good job.
Perfect.
Your intuition was correct. By the way, I have some fun car news on my own, my Subaru Outback.
Mm-hmm.
So first, a noob thing. The battery died a few weeks ago, and then it died again. And we were like, oh no, and it turns out that apparently the year I have actually does have issues with the battery, but that wasn't my issue.
Okay.
I have two issues. Can you guess? It has to do with the fact that the car came from... Just kidding.
All those extra wires disconnected.
The car's VIN number has a Y in it. Actually, that would be a hint in some cases, right? Am I wrong, or VIN's just completely arbitrary?
No, they're meaningful. They're a code.
Good. So I inadvertently made an intelligent comment. I regret that, and I retract it.
No.
If we're talking cars, I'm not going to be smart. I'm going to be like, I don't know. Basically, there's a little light switch on the hatchback that I didn't realize it had, and it's... I love this car. I love Subarus. I'm a Subaru person now. To like your point, like all-wheel drive, great space. They're fantastic cars.
Yeah,
I would dare. They are indeed called the Mustangs of the hatchback family. You know, it's what we call them. Like people are like, man, that car drives like a boss, and I'm like, exactly, because it's a Mustang of hatchbacks. Yeah? No?
I don't. This is news to me. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't.
Next time you run into a Mustang fan, just say that. Be like, oh yes,
yeah,
the Boss 429, very much the Outback of the Mustangs.
Boss 429. Wow.
Okay, I've got questions about that in a sec. By the way, though, we'll get there. But yeah, basically, I love this car, but for whatever reason, they have such horrible UX with the... Oh my god, I died again. They have such horrible UX with the hatchback. For one thing, if your battery dies, it's a button. Like you push a button to open the hatchback, which is nice. It's convenient. But if the battery resets, it just beeps at you a warning while you're driving. And to reset it, you have to like hold the button for 10 seconds and then open it, like manually open and manually shut it. But like that's not intuitive at all. So like
Yeah.
that's a bad design. And then it's got a little light switch that gives a little extra illumination in the hatchback area, but it's barely noticeable. And as you could guess with a hatchback, having a really easy to accidentally toggle button switch, right where, say, you might accidentally hit the roof if you're tall or are lifting something out of your hatchback, that then also potentially resets the battery, which then makes it beep annoyingly.
That's
Not
pretty
great.
strange.
Not a great design. I'm not a fan. But we had that happen, so that was draining the battery. And then also, like all modern cars have computers in them, and basically mine, the Bluetooth module will just randomly turn on and off because it like searches for stuff, and that takes a little power, and they need to reprogram that. But I gotta wait to get a new unit to do that because my old unit's broken. That's my car. That's my car trouble for the week.
Sounds terrific. It does.
So let me ask you a question about us in college and see if I remember. So a common thing for those that don't know, between Landon and myself, I like to jump off ledges and die in Castlevania. Between Landon and myself, I like to be snarky. Shocker. Now, fun bit of trivia that Landon brought up. His car was your Mustang, your '88 Mustang. Was that your first car, or did you have one before?
I had one
Because you said you
before
go Mike before. What did you have before? Was your first car?
1985 Mustang.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
But it was just a 4-cylinder. Bought it for like $1,000.
Oh yeah, I mean four-cylinder Mustangs. Why even bother? Might as well be riding a
88
bicycle, right?
horsepower. Yeah.
Might as well buy 88 bicycles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess.
I
Those
don't
are
know
cheap
one bicycle equals a horse, right? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I like to be snarky. Shocker. And it's actually kind of cool because my first car was actually an '89 Honda Accord.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that car. That was a good car. And so you have an '88 Mustang, I have an '88 Honda Accord, and we used to, and then you used to have a really cool. Do you still have the T-shirt, your Boss T-shirt?
Yeah.
Cool, not bad. So I destroy my T-shirts. I can't remember. Was that a Boss T-shirt or a Boss 429 T-shirt?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
it was.
starting to question if you still own this T-shirt
It's
based on your answer there.
It's a cool Deadwood Nights 2013 T-shirt. Which is a big like music and car festival in Deadwood, South Dakota. And yeah, this one had Boss 302.
Yeah, the television show's based on it. So it was a 302, not a 429.
Correct.
I remember at one point we were talking, you said like a 429 was your dream car. And I was like,
the Boss 429 is like one of the most desirable Mustangs out there.
and I'm going to have more questions on
very
that in a
expensive.
second. But I was going to say, I can't remember if it was a Boss just in general I was making fun of you about, or the 429 where I like, because we were asking like cost. And this sounds like it was before the 2000 boost of old cars, which I'm about to ask about as well. Because I was like, well, for that price, you could get like 5 Honda Accords.
Right.
And I was like, and I can't remember if that was just I can't remember if that was just a Boss 302 or a Boss 429 that this was in reference to.
302, I believe, is what I remember, because the 302 is always more realistic that I wanted to get, and you.
But I can't remember if I was.
Accord.
I can't remember if what I was saying is like, if you could get your dream expensive car, my dream expensive car would be like a Honda Accord for every day of the week. And I think we had like some joke going where I was saying like, okay, well, if I get rich, I'll buy you a Boss 429. And if you get rich, you buy me 5 Honda Accords.
Yeah.
But
I do remember that.
When I was talking to the Mustang guy, he was just like, oh yeah, Boss 429. I can't remember if he said quarter or half. But he said that's how much it would set you back. Half, dear God. So my Honda take would have been a bad investment.
Yeah.
Sadly. because your cars would appreciate in value, and there's no way any of the Hondas I would have asked you to get would have done so.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, but what makes the Boss 429 different, and what makes it so desirable?
The Boss 429, one thing, 429, that's 429 cubic inches. It was Ford's biggest engine, and they made and this is where, like, I don't have as much knowledge as some other people, as real experts. But the 429, like, that's the biggest engine Ford put in a Mustang, and this one was based on their NASCAR engine, because this was the Boss 429 was like the because back when they did like stock car racing and things like that, they, you may have heard the saying, race on Sunday, sell on Monday, but they would use cars that were pretending to be like the cars that they sold in the showroom, and like there are racing rules where in certain race classes, whatever car you build to race has to be something you build a certain number of for the street. I don't know if that was the requirement for the Boss 429. I feel like it was, just because that's kind of a common thing. But anyway, it was like the highest performance Mustang, like, Ford built in the 60s, and it would have been comparable to like the GT 500s by Shelby.
And what year was it? Because you were saying a 302 was 69.
So is the 429.
So it's the same age.
It was the 429. I think they only made that 1 year. But yeah, it's the same age. And also, I went on a rant about this. Maybe you too, I don't remember. But like, John Wick drives a Boss 429, but he totally doesn't. That's not a Boss 429. It's a Mach 1, and they just call it a Boss 429 in the movie for some reason.
Oh wait, so I know a dude that drove. You know, it'd be really, because he was saying like a dream of his was to maybe someday go to a car show and meet somebody. I'm really mad at myself for forgetting a bunch of names, but I'll say some stuff in a second. But he was saying like a dream would be to like go to a car show someday, meet someone with his car, and then just be like, "Oh, how'd you get?" and like not tell him that he knew it. Should be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So one cool thing he had a picture of a race car of a Mustang. I don't know the specific brand because we have already established that I'll confuse them with Dodge and other things. But he had a picture of a Mustang on a racetrack, and the guy had the car on two wheels, and apparently was able to stabilize, like the pictures from a real race. The guy was able to go on two wheels and stabilize, and like knew what he was doing. So like, cool driver. And so he said he was like at a show once and like had the picture on the hood of his, like, one of the Mustangs he was showing.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy was like, "Oh, that's a cool picture." And he's like, "Do you know who did that move?" And he was like, "Oh, I believe the guy's name was Todd." He's like, "Oh yeah, that was Todd so and so, and blah blah blah. And I even saw him do it, and it's just the coolest picture. And I had to get like a print of it." And the guy was like, "Nice to meet you. I'm Todd so and so." So like that's
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. So yeah, it'd be fun to do something like that. But yeah, I forget what I was going to say about other stuff.
Who knows?
Yep.
Nobody knows. Not me.
I was fine and would have easily made it to the boss. I keep like dying on stupid stuff. That one was more hilarious in that I had enough. I had it, but I didn't realize I was out of hearts. And because I was out of hearts, when I tried to throw my weapon, I didn't, and instead got hit in the knee with an axe.
Wow, that sounds painful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this level. This is where I got to last time, and I've got Dracula. I don't have his flying power, which we established is actually like an item or a spell that lets him do it. He can't just turn into a bat all the time. And apparently there's nothing on this level that gives that to me. I don't know if that'd help me at this point, but...
Right.
Oh! Stupid skeleton. With his stupid sword. I'm just over here shooting my vampire fireballs.
Oh, by the way, this already came... We never discussed what you and your friends talk about Lost, but of course we always bring up Lost because I compare it to From. which
Mhm.
is like Lost. And I will say, if you haven't watched From, Numbers and a lighthouse make an appearance in the last episode. I finally finished season 2, so I'm excited for season 3 of From.
Nice.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I
Unlike,
need to check out Lost. I need to.
yeah. So like,
I've seen the first like
how do you
3.
talk about it as much as you do without like watching it? I
We
don't
don't talk
understand.
about it much. It's just coincidentally talk about it at the same time you bring it
You
up or
just
something.
talk about it at least bi-weekly.
Do we? I don't know if we do.
You do. I can go back to the recordings.
Wow. You
Yeah.
would do that? You would go back to the recordings?
Well, interestingly enough, because as noted, I podcast at the Box Score Geek Show and Nerd with Jeff May, and I actually have like software that I listen to it on 3x to like edit, and it's also transcription, so I can like search through the transcription. And transcription software obviously is far from perfect, so you know, for a basketball podcast, it's pretty much unusable because I'll be like, in Victor Wembanyama, and it's like Wick or
Oh, why did I do
Wem Yams, eh? And I'm like,
that?
no, that is
This isn't
no,
right at all.
that is not what I said. And like I said, Victor Wembanyama had a game like Hakeem Olajuwon's 1990 All-Star game, which was also bad. That was my point. He had he's a really. I'll even say if you look me up, I'm actually out there saying that I am skeptical about how great of a prospect he will be, because at one point he was being called like the next LeBron James. And I went and looked up his French Jeep Elite numbers, which is the league he played in. And I'm just like, these numbers do not indicate to me that this is someone that is going to be the greatest basketball player of all time. However, he is like closer to 8 feet than 7 feet and can like,
Wow.
and has all this, like, this makes any sense. He's not great at the things he needs to do, but he can do the things. So if he can get good at the things he needs to do, he'll like, he's just a cheat code. So I'm very excited. And he got drafted by the San Antonio Spurs, who have one of the best coaching staffs in the NBA. So I am excited about him, but I've also written that maybe he's a little overhyped. And I was writing that when he was being hyped, not after he was drafted, because now I'm on board. I'm just like, what are you going to do, man? I want to see this. But he had a bad first game, and then he had some other stuff with Britney Spears, but that's unrelated to his bad
Britney
first game.
Spears?
One of us gets that gimmick. It ain't you. Or are you saying with Britney Spears?
What?
What?
I was just commenting on what you said.
Did you
Something
say
about Britney
who?
Spears.
Or did you say what about Britney Spears, or did you say who's Britney Spears?
I
Because
didn't
I
say
heard
who.
I heard who's Britney Spears, and I'm like, that's a joke I would make.
No,
and I'm not even going
that's
to
not what I
entertain.
said. I'm curious what this Britney Spears connection is.
And I'm gonna lose. This sucks. His San Antonio security person hit her hand, and then she hit herself in the face with her hand, and she got really upset. And then everybody was like, "Did Victor Wembanyama slap Britney Spears?" Because that's what the media does. They're like, make up sensationalist stories. So.
But really, it was his security detail doing the "stop hitting yourself" against Britney Spears.
Well, not even. What happened is she. Oh, duh! That was so cool. Watch what I do on this screen. I die, but it's cool.
Oh, nice.
I tried. Maybe go for another 15 minutes. We might not get any further than we did last week, but we talked a lot about cars.
We did talk a lot about cars.
That was
always,
the goal.
Yeah, always a good time.
Yeah.
I'm fighting him. Alright, this might be the furthest I've ever been. This tile right here.
Yep. I thought you killed that last time. That like big thing. I'm in the past, so.
I don't remember if I got past it or not. I may have.
I know you got to it and you kept having problems with it. So if you.
Yeah, and I just did the really slow, cheesy way to beat him just now.
And you're fine on time, so you're good.
Yeah, but I wasted all my lives like trying to beat him faster. Oh, and there's
You're a
another one.
You're a
Another one.
vampire. You have infinite lives.
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Are we making up monster lore again?
Yeah, but we're good at it, so it's fine. Oh, by the way, I got to throw this out. I got to give a shout out to chat and a shout out to us
Okay.
on. I think we did 2 weeks. We missed last week because I was traveling to Seattle to have one of the coolest experience with a Boss 302 that I was not expecting.
Right.
And then I was like, I was so psyched about that. And I sent you a bunch of cool pictures. So I sent you his 2 cars and all that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
And I sent you a picture of the engine. I didn't send I should have taken a picture of the other engine with the extra electric. Okay.
I thought, I just lost a turkey in the ocean.
Me too.
Such is life. So interestingly, he has a car with the Coyote engine and a car with the Roadrunner engine sitting right next to each other, which is pretty cool.
Okay, where were you 2 weeks? Why didn't you tell me that without having any knowledge? You're like, Dre, you will look so clever. Like, you're not going to know about, like, Alaska, but you will look so clever. I didn't say that.
Why are there
all
so
right.
many of these things?
I'm going to read you a list of 24, and we'll see if you in the chat remember what it was. I know you do, because we talked this, but I'm breaking kayfabe to let you know the gimmick. All right.
Okay.
Simpsons, Futurama, The Tick, Samurai Jack, Cowboy Bebop, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Trigun. I forgot to write this in the list to you, but you did say it, which is Neon Genesis Evangelion, Vision of Escaflowne, Ranma 1/2, Rick and Morty, Family Guy, American Dad, Dragon Ball, Avatar: The Last Airbender, not to be confused with Avatar: The James Cameron movie, Outlaw Star, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Kim Possible, Star Wars Clone War, Disenchanted, and He-Man. That is a list of 23 shows that we came up with on 2 weeks ago's show that were animated shows better than The Leftovers.
Indeed.
Good work, team.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Because I was like, sure we did it, and then I went to the point. I went back to the recording and listened to it and wrote them down.
I'm gonna run out of time trying to beat this snake. Man, Dracula is...
Oh, do you want another funny one?
Oh, and then I just die anyway.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
you're all right. I mean, the good
so
news about being a vampire is you are already dead.
As far as I know, that's true, yeah.
Remember Hugo Weaving in The Matrix where Keanu does have a boss, but it's really a mock, and we're like, what are you doing?
What's that?
Yep. And then Dracula's like, do you intend to kill me? And Hugo Weaving's like, Dracula, you are already dead.
So dead.
Yeah. I butchered that. Because for those that forget The Matrix, in the beginning, the guy's like, I'm trying to protect my men in there. And he's like, your men are already dead.
Oh, yeah.
And then she doesn't kill him. So, like, that's a cool line, but... Or maybe that was, like, the only realistic part of The Matrix they did. Because, like, for those that don't know, in a lot of movies, if you ever see someone get knocked out, like, they just, like, if someone gets knocked out in a movie and doesn't wake up soon after, they've had a lot of blunt force trauma to the head and probably have brain damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going unconscious is bad. Like, that's...
Well, it's funny. I actually had that happen when I was in middle school. I had made like a break, like I had like done whatever, I don't know, you like make 2 knots and you do it a bunch and you make like a bracelet with the diagonal pattern. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a camp activity. So I made a bracelet, and like someone in my class like was like, this is big enough for your neck, and put it around my neck and actually restricted enough oxygen for me to pass out.
Oh, geez.
But here's it's exactly what we were just saying. What happens is I'm just sitting in my chair and I just fall. And like, I remember passing out, but then I wake up like immediately and no one thought I was like I really got passed out, because from their perspective it looks like I just like fell down and got back up. It's very much like that Black Mirror episode where there's like that big nightmare he has in the video game, but if you really time it, like he literally like walks into a room and then like just dies. That was a really good episode. Just go watch that Black Mirror episode if you haven't. This season I haven't watched. I've watched recaps of, and I hear it's so.
Yeah, I haven't watched the latest season either.
I've watched recaps of it. That's what you do. But yeah, so I mean that is actually the point. Like if you get, I mean, same kind of thing. Like if you're watching boxing, right, and they get KO'd, it's like, yeah, they go down and you'll see them like get up. But it's like, yeah, they did lose consciousness. But if you're not able to wake someone up that has lost consciousness, they're in a bad state.
Right. Yeah.
So like in the Matrix, like Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, like when all the men attack and she like kicks a bunch of them and punches them and they all fall down. It's like they're not dead, but maybe they are. Like maybe that's like the first realistic one. It's like, oh yeah, she kicked him in the head really bad. Like he's got a concussion and is dead.
Right.
Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, I think she killed a bunch of people.
Yep. Well, I mean, we know they killed. Like they use guns later, but I'm just saying that scene in particular, she like kicks a bunch of them. And that doesn't kill him.
I got the right weapon now, I think. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Way better. The boomerang, as we've established, the best video game weapon.
So let me ask you a question. Even if I'm going to entertain this, so hypothetically, if you're thinking of a boomerang in a video game, what's it look like?
Okay, yeah, not this. All right, I get it, But also, don't you remember that, like, what was that company? It wasn't Nerf. There was another company back in, like, 80s and 90s that made a lot of, like, outdoor toys, like...
Oh, yeah, Nerf.
No, like, there was another one, like...
Yeah,
wow,
it made like a square one or something, yeah, like a triangular one or something.
And they had, like, a cross one. At least according to the commercials. Yeah. That's what this is. Is that Whammo? Is that like, what was the name of that company?
Whammo Cross Boomerang. Oh, it's like they make like there's like a circular.
Picked up the clock. I don't want the
All right.
clock.
You ready? I know I keep doing that too. It's the worst. What would you prefer? Would you prefer Skype, or would you prefer Gmail chat or Zoom chat? I was going to send you a link.
Zoom, I guess. I don't know if I have my Gmail still open.
Well, doesn't help. Okay, sending you a link. And I love the internet in that it's like, oh, we're just going to add a bunch of other stuff.
No.
Okay, so
I don't even know where Zoom went.
Homework to both of us. We're going to practice before next week, right? In my defense, I did practice, but not a lot because I didn't get back.
There we go.
I didn't get back.
This is the Castlevania boomerang.
Oh, is it on your feed? Let me see. Let me go to your channel to see the link. Well, then what good is your feed? Your feed used to be good. It's not anymore.
Well, I wasn't sure what all information that was displaying. So I was like, maybe I'll take that.
Oh yeah, I've done that for like pack breaking, where I make sure to cut off like actually like the URL on my bookmarks bar and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Like maybe now somebody knows where I live. That's
you all know where you live.
Yeah. It's true. I don't know if anyone's even still in chat, but if they are, they know where I live.
Well, yeah, I need to like send. I don't know. Let's see. I did at one point. I felt embarrassed about this because I know we had all these conversations in college about the 429 versus Honda Accord. And yeah, I was gonna say like that was what I was gonna say is when he told me the cost. I just remember being confused, and you kind of explained that, yeah, very much like comics in the 2000s. That's that with no context. If you just hopped in the chat room and see Mitty say, "I know where you live," like that's just terrifying. So if anybody new hops in chat, and by the way, that's happened to me once on Twitch, but that's a thing that can happen, which is you can get raided, which is an existing stream with a decent number of people can say, "Hey, everybody go watch me just fall off a cliff," like I just did.
Good times.
Yeah. But that, yeah, you can get raided. So like you could have just like 100 random people show up in your stream and they're like, "Why are your listeners threatening you?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. But yeah, to that exact point where like comics went through the same issue in the 90s and 2000s as the car you were saying. So like when he told me the boss value was way higher. Anyway, to our point, when you think about boomerangs, when you were saying what Captain Boomerang is the coolest Mega Man villain or whatever, Quick Man. First off, his code's glitchy, so he falls through the floor. That is true. And second off, he sucks. Because boomerangs suck. Although actually the boomerang's a really useful game because it's pretty multi-useful and it kills the dragon quickly. It still sucks. So I refuse to say now. If it was a four-corner boomerang, like that's not a boomerang, it's a cross. I don't care, man.
Well, it comes back. What's the definition of boomerang?
So do crosses. After 3 days, you wait, they come back. It's in the Bible. Check it out.
Do you know what you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
A stick.
A stick.
I got another one for you that a kid told me today, and here's what I'm going to do. It's a good joke. I know the punchline, but I'm going to tell you the punchline he told me.
Okay.
Okay. What are 2 things you never have for breakfast?
Lunch and dinner?
Sorry. The correct answer is breakfast and lunch.
What? What are things you never have for breakfast?
Hey, listen, that's what the kid told me today. That's a weird thing. I keep doing this. I don't need the stopwatch. I need the holy water. I'm never going to beat this level because I always die too much to remember not to get the stopwatch there. This is such a horribly made game.
What? This game is awesome.
Are we getting a Stockholm syndrome like you did with Mega Man 3?
Hey, I said this game was awesome like the whole time we've been playing it. I like this game a lot. I may never be good at it, but it's way better than the first one. Like a million times better than the first one.
But it's odd.
And I'm not sure what the strategy here is against this giant snake, who is also awesome, who we later see in Super Metroid.
I agree. Mega Man Secret, as Chat DPT will agree, is a better looking game than this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't get around to talking Gremlins 2 at all. We got a little bit of time.
Oh yeah.
But that was interesting. Well, it depends. I mean, like it's not like set in stone. Where I'm like, I said 10:30, we're done. But yeah, we talking Gremlins 2 a little because that was the most recent nerd podcast. You said that was like the first one you've done where you didn't like rewatch the old material. And I'm going to say this to you right now. I'm debating this. The next episode is going to be on Fievel Goes West.
Oh yeah, you'd mentioned that.
Please don't watch it. I mean, I can't stop you.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching that one because I like that movie. Like,
you liked it? You're older than me.
I don't know.
How did you like it? You're older than me. It is.
I like cartoons.
Yeah, but there are at least 20 cartoons better than Fievel Goes West. Let me start naming some.
I don't think I saw the whole thing either of that one. But
what? I'm conflicted now because if you haven't seen the whole thing, I do think it is terrible and it is maybe worth watching. So I don't know what to tell you. It is like that was funny because I know like Jeff and I got in like a discussion about the Ewoks movies,
Mm-hmm.
where I was kind of like, they're worth seeing, and I think you agreed. Like, they're bad, but they're worth watching. I'd hope
Yeah,
that.
I enjoyed watching them just for whatever they were, and especially combined with the podcast, that
Yeah.
was worth it. But
So I'm debating if I can be honest and say don't watch Five Goes West, or actually you can.
I'm watching it. I don't remember hardly any of it, so I probably will watch that one.
One good thing about it, this is one positive, is it's like an hour and 15 minutes, because it's actually like back in the day when cartoons understood they were for kids, and as such you should be long enough for the attention span of a kid.
Okay.
It's opposed to like Little Mermaid, that's like, you know what the Little Mermaid needed? 30 more minutes.
Is Little Mermaid long?
The first one is not, but the new one, like the live action remake,
Oh, really?
apparently so.
Like, everything needs to be a 3-hour epic.
Yep. But yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what you think of Five Goes West, because that's coming up next. And you said you didn't rewatch Gremlins, but you kind of said like, it's odd that you said it kind of like lived in your brain.
That one, yeah, like everything you guys talked about, like, was familiar. Like, it's not like I remember the whole movie, but nothing was brought up that I was like, that doesn't sound familiar at all, right? And like I did remember a lot of it, like snapshots of it. Like I didn't remember the story, like A and B plot or any of that. Like, but all the different gremlins are just, when you're a kid, it's just so, you're like glued to your seat because you don't know what's gonna happen next. It's just out of control, and it's fun to watch.
Oh, and you said you did watch it, but it's cool. It's like, yeah, you sent me some Gremlins trading cards, and Jeff's friend. So like, this is kind of a bizarre. I'll have to bring that up on the next episode with them. Is like both Jeff and myself just have friends that are like, hey, you're a good friend. I'm gonna send you some Gremlins 2 trading cards. Because his friend
Funny.
Eric Barnes did that for him. He got him 2 packs of Gremlins 2 trading cards, and you got
Nice.
me a pack of Gremlins trading cards. Oh, and I actually did, I'll try and keep you posted when he opens them. But I sent Jeff that pack of Batman, because you sent me 2 packs of Batman cards, which are awesome. And what was hilarious is, for those that don't know, in the old box, so when remember when the talk of the town was your new phone? So when Landon had to get his new phone, he initially, I think, tried to get a battery replacement or something, and went to a store, and saw like a vintage shop behind it, and it had some like nostalgic cards, and like, so like Topps, as we will discover, well, as we know, just makes cards for like everything. Like, if you can think it, they made it at some point. And
Yeah,
so
which
there
I
were a
had no
bunch of,
idea. Like,
yeah, there were a bunch of really cool old sets. So you got me, let me see if I can remember. You got me Growing Pains, Batman, Gremlins 2, and then an X-Men, like a Jim Lee, like in the 90s. Actually, ironically, exactly what you just said about the boss, like the period of time you sent those cards from is when that happened with comics, is where they decided people thought comics were a good investment, so the value spiked. And then all the new comics, people were like keeping them in pristine condition, and they'd make like holographic, like, because if you remember those card sets, they were like custom holograms, and
Right.
I got a custom Magneto, which is now worth $5, but at the time they were like, oh my god, this,
Yeah. Yeah,
this
and
Magneto could.
yeah, just on that note, something I forgot to mention, like, just about the car, like how I said I'm trying to keep it nice, but like I do drive it. And part of the reason is because so many people bought those, especially the Laguna Seca, just to put in the garage and have no miles on them. So there's always going to be plenty of Laguna Secas with way lower miles than mine, like no matter what I do. So I might as well, drive it and enjoy it.
Yeah, that also gets weird. I remember from like Pawn Stars, where what makes a collectible varies. So as an example, old guns, it hurts the value if you fix them up, because people want the wear and tear. Like, basically, if you have like a vintage gun, they're like, oh, we want it because like this was used in the Civil War or something, right? Whereas like you get an old car and they're like, we want this fixed up. We don't want to hear that like somebody, you know, drove it in a race at some point. So it's kind
Yeah,
of interesting.
that's true. Yeah. But yeah. So the
I'm never
cards,
gonna.
yeah. So
But yeah, so you bought me a bunch of vintage cards. I think you bought me 4 or 5 packs, some awesome ones. I did do this with your blessing. I sent a picture along to Jeff because he's a big card aficionado and he started doing pack break on his channel for that. That's patreon.com/Jeff May. Fun stuff. And when I sent those along, he's like, oh yeah, I have all of those packs except for like one of the he had one of the Batmans, not both.
mhm.
I got 1 bar off of them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that the other day because I knew you were gonna send him one. I didn't know if you'd done that yet or not. Because
Literally arrived today, and this is just me being out of date. Like, I literally had it on my desk to send along to him, and you know, just didn't,
sure,
as you do.
cool. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
would like to watch him open those.
I'll let you know. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say. Actually, now I remember the thing. We had this Boss 429 discussion forever in our friendship.
Mhm.
And I had actually had the idea a couple of times to send you like a die cast model and never did. And what eventually happened is I went to a car show in downtown Appleton where there were some Mustangs. I don't think there were any Bosses, but there were some Mustangs. And I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna like, I was like, I wonder if they've, since I've thought about it, made a Boss 420 Mustang for like die cast model that I could send to Landon. And I looked it up, and they're like, the Boss 4, it was very chat GPT. It's like the Boss 429 probably said what you were saying. Like, it's the biggest engine. And I had been thinking it was the Boss 420 for like 15 years. And then it turns out if you look up Boss 429 versus 420, you get a much different set of cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did send you a collectible Boss 429 little die-cast car.
Right.
That took 15 years longer than it should have.
But you know, I got
Oh, another fun collectible story that's going to relate to the podcast. So, we're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze in 2 months, and that's going to be with my brother Daniel. And when my brother and I were younger, we got ooze as a gift. So they used to make these little bottles of ooze in combination with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 that had little action figures in them. So it was a little bottle of ooze, and then it had a little like fake turtle action figure in it. And my brother told me, and this is true, I was a jerk older brother when I was younger. He said like we both got one, and I opened his up and knocked and like pulled out the action figure, and Daniel didn't want me to do that. Oh, I just added my brother's name. His name is Daniel. But you'll learn that in 2 months on the Nerd Podcast with Dre, Jeff, and Dan.
nice.
But I like took his figure out, and he didn't, and like let the ooze out, and so like the ooze like, you know, fell on the floor, and like it was no good after that. And he was upset because he's like, I wanted the ooze, I didn't care about the action figure. And he's getting married soon. And so I was like, you know what a cool gift would be? I should buy him some of that ooze, and I still might. I don't think he listens to this show, so I don't have to worry. But I was like, that would be a cool gift. That stuff is like $200 plus.
For the original ooze.
To get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 ooze canister with the ooze in it, you could get the action figure for like $5. So he was right. When I like took the action figure out and let the ooze break, should have kept the ooze. The ooze keeps the value.
Yeah, I bet there's not too many of those surviving.
Sorry to keep this on Nerdcast talk. Do you want to know something? There is a lot of excess supply that I discovered recently.
What?
5 Goes West collectible trading cards. I sent, so as noted, I finally, so what I sent to Jeff, and these have been sitting on my desk for weeks, and I feel bad about it. As you may know, he's a big Larry Bird fan because he's from Boston. So, and then some of the old packs of trading cards I've broken on this very channel, or on my channel if you're listening on Nerd Numbers. I sent him some Larry Bird cards from those packs.
Mhm.
And then I also sent him the Batman cards. And I also found, because he does a Batman podcast, so that was extra cool. I also sent him a Dr. Chase Meridian card from Batman. I think is it Batman Forever or Batman and Robin, the one where she shows up? Do you remember?
I
Chase
didn't
Meridian?
see either of those.
What? Oh, you
I
gotta.
do I?
Yes, they are so bad they're good.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't seen them. Probably because, as you know, I just kind of don't watch things.
Okay, no. Because I actually did listen to this recording while I was getting the 20 best movies that are better than the leftovers that are animated that are also TV shows. Did I save that? I don't think I saved that. You basically said you don't watch good movies, you watch bad movies.
Oh yeah,
And so
that's
now that I'm like these two bad movies, you're like, I haven't seen them.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I should watch those because they sound
They
like
are
something I
terrible.
would watch.
Um,
What did I want?
Zortank's asked who's the sixth viewer. We've hit 6 before. We're at 5 at the moment. We've got up to 6 or 7 before, which is funny. But
Have we?
whoever's watching and listening to us talk about cars and nerds and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, as mentioned, I sent Jeff 2 Larry Bird top-loaded cards, a Dr. Chase Meridian, Batman Forever card that I found in a card shop that's closing, and I may go by there tomorrow because I guess it's closing on Friday. The guy's just retiring. And then also the Batman cards that you sent along. So I sent those, and then I also, when I was doing research for the 50 Goes West podcast, which we will be recording this weekend with Kim Crawl from Crawl Space, when we did that, I just had to look. I was like, did they make trading cards for this? And of course, eBay's always the first hit, and it was like $10 for a box.
Oh, I didn't like it.
And I'm like, this isn't even a question. I'm like if Jeff was like, are you considering sending me those? I'm like, Mr. Anderson, they're already sent. Like $10. And it's slightly annoying. It looks like shipping on them is pricey. It was about $10 for shipping too, so that's a little annoying. But it's just like $20 for it's a 150 card set, and it's a 36 pack box. So it's like,
Nice.
yeah, I had to.
So he's gonna open 36 packs of 50 cards.
Yeah, the back and forth I had is because one of the things he does on his Patreon is he sends along cards that he breaks that he does. Because you mentioned, like, I sent along when he broke the Gremlins cards. I actually told you, I was like, hey, by the way, he's breaking some of these cards, and you might be interested. I think you said you got. He also broke Marvel Masterpieces, which is much cooler. So the Gremlins cards were nice, but then he also broke some 1992 Marvel Masterpiece cards, which are just awesome. And you said you got to watch some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, and then so what he'll do is he'll, if you sign up at the right Patreon tier, he'll send those along. And then I was like, I wonder if any of your fans like 50 card are going to ask for 50 cards. He's like, well, they're going to get them anyway. Like, you don't have a choice. So hopefully I don't tank Jeff's Patreon now. People are like, I want to get free cards. He's like, the 50 Goes West. So like, I'm out.
Yeah, right. It's like I've got 5 years worth of 50 cards I need to get rid of.
I mean, 36. I mean, and also one of the things he says he does is, he gives some away for patronage. I think for, obviously depending on some stuff, if it has value, we can look it up and see if it's worth selling or, like getting on slab, which is where you get a card graded and it has the number on it. And then, other than that, he just gives them away. And I mean, that's like, to that point, if you can buy 50 Goes West cards for $9.99 a box, then even if he got like a complete set of all the rare cards, hate to tell you, they're not going to be worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wait, what is happening? Why is this changing? Why is this boss changing? Why is there water now? I only have 1 health. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with changes.
You have half health. You have in the past. Well, that was a cool day. I'll give this. I'm on my last life on this. I'll give this one more continue to try and beat this level, and then I'll call it a night.
That was weird. I didn't even like kill the enemy. He just left.
Yeah, he's the leftovers.
No, he isn't.
Yeah. Want to know a fun bit of trivia about American Tail? Not Bible Goes West and American Tail, the first movie, which is considered by many to be a better movie.
Okay.
The song Somewhere Out There, which you may actually recognize, it showed up in an episode of Community.
I do know the song because you
It's an
learned it in
awesome
like elementary school or something. I don't remember.
That won the Grammy Song of the Year.
Wow.
But trivia, and I might be spoiling the pod. This might be the entire Bible Goes West podcast, by the way. But Somewhere Out There lost the Emmy for Best Original Song in a Movie. You know what it lost to? Of course you don't, but I'll ask anyway.
What?
Take My Breath Away in Top Gun.
Hmm.
That seems like a travesty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere Out There wins song, not just movie, Song of the Year. And a song that like Tom Cruise is driving on a motorcycle in Top Gun brings it back.
I don't know.
World's not fair.
Oh no. Ah.
So did you beat that water boss, or did you have to do it again?
Oh, I do have to do it again. No way. That whole thing. This whole thing I just did for the last hour, I have to do again.
Well,
This
buckle
game
up,
is
everybody.
this game is losing. It's losing me. I'm losing it.
Well, I already said I've got 3 lives technically. 3 lives, and I'm going to try and beat the boss once. It's going to be tough because I'm at 1 health, and I have to make it through 3 screens. That'll be tough, but we'll see. It's possible. Yeah. So what else is going on?
Well,
Talk cars, talk nerd.
yeah,
Talk a little
still,
bit about Gremlins.
yeah. I got Radical Racers version 1.0 up on my
Oh,
website.
we have to talk so much about this. Sorry,
Do we?
you're going to be here another hour.
I was gonna ask actually, like, because when I was finishing this game was around the time you and I met. Do you remember this game from back in the day?
I do not.
I don't remember if I
And
ever showed it
I
to you
think
or not.
it's cool. Guess
Uh,
we weren't that good of friends for a while.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to
Fine.
remember like what
You know
year
what?
we met. Like,
So what's interesting, and this is sad, and I mean, you remember this. You and I think we've even talked this on this show. You and I were in a class together, and I don't remember you. You used to sit right next to me. Now, admittedly, I had a friend in my dorm named Domingo who I used to sit next to in the class, and then that was the class that convinced him to drop computer science. But so you and I were in that class together, and I don't remember you being in that class, but I also ditched that class a lot.
yeah, that was when you only kind of showed up sometimes.
I was a part-time student for the first 2.5 years of being a CS student. I still got a degree, and I don't know how I did that.
You just
That's ridiculous.
yeah, you did a lot of last minute. Well, I guess I better do this.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
where was this
So
going?
we were in a class together that I don't remember you from, which makes me feel bad because you're like, oh yeah, I remember you from that class. I used to sit right next to you, and I'm like, who?
Who
And
are
then
you?
also, I think at the time you said you had like really long hair,
Mm-hmm.
and were like so like you were super noticeable. So like that makes it even more amusing. You're like, I'm the dude with the super long hair that sat right next to you, and I'm like, not ringing any bells.
Yeah.
So that was initial, and let's see. So it was about my 5th semester, I want to say, which was let's see. I started in 01. Would have been 2003 for C++.
Okay. That's the year. That's about the year I finished this game. Because it was like I think from 2001 to 2003, maybe 2004 is maybe when I called it version 1.0. But I'm sorry, yeah, the version on my website is not 1.0, it's X.0. Version X.0. Second, because I felt like it.
That's a secret.
No, no secret. It's not a secret. It was never a secret.
Radical Racer's secret. Shh.
No, it's definitely not part of it. No, but the version I put up is my attempt to make it as much like the original game as is reasonable.
All right, I lied. I'm going to do one more continue so we can talk a little more Radical Racer. So you made it was in C++ originally, right?
Originally C++ and Direct Draw.
You made Radical Racers. Well, I mean, by the way, I know I did, and I don't know how, but I assume you got an A in the C++ class.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I made this before taking that class though.
That's ridiculous.
Because I learned C++ initially in community college before I went to university. So
What are you in Canada? Like what they say, or they say like uni for short, right?
I don't know. I didn't know if we wanted to like say the name of it. I don't know what to do.
No, I'm just saying. You said like in the U.S. you say in college. In Canada they say in university.
But wouldn't it have been weird if I said I went to community college before going to college? Doesn't that sound confusing?
Sounds a little pretentious, but it's true. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So you basically learned C++ in community college.
Mm-hmm.
Got really good at C++ clearly because you made a very good game. Had that ready about the time you had to take the 200 level. We're gonna have discussions about this game. But yeah, so you made that, and then you kind of kept it on the shelf, and you were able to port it pretty easily. Was it Godot that you ported it to, or something else?
Yeah, to Godot. The same thing I made Mega Man Secret in. Shh. But it was it was super easy. Like modern game engines are just fun and easy to use.
Can I ask a question if you didn't already do this? I'm going to actually assume you already did this, and I'm just going to prove that I haven't beaten the game. And to my credit, on this very show, you've said it's a hard game. Radical Racers, which you can find at Space Debrix, or Debris, however you want to say it. It's spelled DEBRIX. You can find it spacedebrix.com. Radical Racers is up there, although you should play Mega Man Secret first. Yeah, I just let it go. Dang it. But this is a game you made, and like I haven't beaten it. I wanted to actually save it for the show. Because you say you can beat it in like an hour or so.
It took me like 3 hours, but I've updated it quite a bit since then. And it's a lot more like I changed the way the physics work and to be a little weird in the same way the original game was, so it's easier now. It's a lot more playable, I think.
Cool. All right, so I figured we'd actually save that for a future show, though we're never going to beat Castlevania. So, and I mean, it's not like we can make the rules to just stop playing this devil game.
It's true. We promised we would beat it. I promised I'd beat it in one life. I don't know what I was thinking, but
it still happened. I mean, to be technical, as long as you do it before you die, you do it in one life.
That's true. Yeah. Be even more impressive if I do it in 2.
But yeah, so I actually gave it a look-see.
Okay,
I'm gonna do one more continue because that was an embarrassing death. And then for real, this will be it. This we'll finish with Space Debris talk and one more continue and get out of here in a little under 2 hours.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I actually gave it a look-see. It was ironic. Is like I had some comments. Like the racing part itself is pretty entertaining. Obviously, you actually made it interactive. So like other racing games like Forza and Gran Turismo, I can only assume, you have to purchase parts for your car to even run.
Mm-hmm.
So when I like started the game, I'm like, all right, let's race. And
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
you can't race. You have to buy but it doesn't tell you need an engine. So I'm just sitting here like,
Yeah,
all
there's
right.
no indication at all like how to play the game. It makes no sense. And that I
Um,
didn't change. Like it's still like everything you see in the game that's up there now is very, very much like the original game. There's nothing new.
and what's funny is when I like commented, I was like, oh, pretty good, but these parts are clunky, whatever. And you're like, you think that's clunky? You should see this part. And I was like, interesting flex.
You think that's bad? Yeah.
But yeah, you basically made a pretty, straightforward racing game. I haven't gotten to experience what happens when you like upgrade the tires, upgrade, the different parts and whatever. But I'm looking forward to it when we actually do it on this show. But yeah, pretty amusing. And I was going to ask in the game, is the last
Whoops.
car a boss?
No, it's not. There's
Why not?
because it doesn't have real cars. They're all just made up cars. Oh,
Well,
that's
you
a good
could
joke.
make a car that looks like a boss.
I have a car that looks like a Mustang.
Yeah, but see, I'm trying to go for the pun of like the boss in the game
Oh yeah.
is a
Yeah.
boss. It's not even like that. That's not even like super punny. That's like clever for a car game.
It's true. Yeah. No, it doesn't do that. There's nothing.
Yeah, so you should go back and add different versions of different bosses, and the last one could be your boss. Could be Landon's boss.
Could be. Yeah. I could be the final boss in the game. The game that has no other characters or bosses.
Why don't you add bosses?
It's I don't know. It's you just race random people. That and the shop guy says it, so it has to stay that way.
Fair enough. So anyway, on your secret project where you're going to do a racing game with bosses, I look forward to it. Yeah, but other comments on so you said it was pretty easy to port a game
Yeah.
that you spent a lot of time just building just as you were learning C++. Pretty good look. I mean, if that's a port from like a college project, that's pretty impressive. I'll say that. And I mean, like I said, some clunky parts, but you even said you did all of it. You did the graphics, the music, the game itself. So
Yeah. It
as a
was.
whole, ridiculously impressive as a one-person project.
Thanks. And yeah, and that's why it took 3 years, right? And that's kind of the trap a lot of
But it didn't
indie
take
game
3 years.
developers fall.
You were in school. Like that's the same. Like I've got lots of projects. I'm
I
like,
mean
oh, this
that's true.
project just it took me 3 years. I mean, of course, I also had like a full-time job and was playing. Like that's been some of the other stuff. Like I have side projects. And I'm like, well, I could have 2 hours to do that side project, but playing Castlevania and talking boss Mustangs with my friends sounds
Right.
more
But
fun.
but I think that's kind of understood when people are talking about personal projects. Like it's calendar time, not work time. Because
Fair
yeah, we
enough.
all have lives outside of our
Speak for yourself.
have to go to work.
You're up late. I shouldn't be keeping you up so late, but
Are you kidding? Do you have any idea what time I go to sleep?
I don't. I think we've discussed it before. Maybe one.
If I'm no. I wish.
What?
I wish I went to bed at 1.
What is stopping you?
Me, just me.
Okay.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Waste
It's
your
because
honest.
it's because I just like sit there and be like, man, Godot's pretty fun to play with, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing this until I don't have enough sleep for work tomorrow.
If you got a second monitor, you could also watch Five Goes West in the background, or good movies even.
That's true. I could do that. I have a TV. Does that count?
For 2 TV gaming for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you just said you just did a port and you're not intending to do it. And what fixes did you do to it?
Fixes. The only fixes are I use like the built-in Godot collision detection, so you can't like accidentally drive outside of the track, which you could do in the first one sometimes. And I changed it so you can still kind of drive through cars, which you could still kind of do in the original game, but I don't know. Like mostly that's kind of it. I'm pretty happy with how the Godot version turned out, just because it feels like Radical Racers to me. It feels like my original project.
Nice. And assuming we can get out of this hellscape of a game in a week or two, that would be what I would have next on the docket.
Yeah, cool. Like that'd be fun if you wanted to play it.
All
This
right.
was it was like really just a personal project for me. I thought it'd be fun to do, but it'd be
By the
cool
way,
if you
to,
wanted
to get the
try.
password when you die, you hit select and then start. So that is my passcode if anybody wants to attempt to beat from where I died. We both
Okay.
died so much in the same place so many times, so I'll let you die out and that can be the night.
Yeah, I'm just gonna die. I'm still far away from like
You're
the
like, you're
boss
like
and
I'm
stuff.
done.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not gonna get it this run, so that's fine.
We can, and I'll even throw this out to you. I mean, I actually intend to practice a little before next week. And hopefully next week is good for you. If not, just let me know.
As far as I know, it
There's
is.
no reason it shouldn't be good for me. But what I was going to throw out is like, then if we also decide that like next week we haven't gotten enough practice, we can be like, let's just do radical racers.
Take a little
Yeah, take a break
break.
because it's like, yeah, like I was like, I was like at practice level, maybe I'll get to the boss and beat it. And it's like, yeah, I got to the boss like twice. All right,
Yeah,
got the passcodes.
this one will take some practice. Yeah, I got the passcode on stream here. I'm going to. Does it auto enter the passcode, or am I gonna have to enter that myself? Like if I save state, does that do anything for me at this point now that I'm looking at the
I don't know,
passcode?
but the passcode's pretty easy to enter actually.
Yeah, it
All
doesn't have
right.
to
By
be.
the way, I am following just another Tanetinba. I think I'm following you. Is there anybody else I should be following on Blue Sky to end the night out on?
Probably everybody I am following, who are just the people in chat.
Oh, you're following every. Okay.
Not everybody. I mean, I've only a couple people, but I won't call out
Okay. Well,
things on
I'm
stream.
doing that
But
now, but it's also not on a stream anywhere. So sounds good. Okay, everybody. Thanks for 2TV Gaming. We'll talk to you next time.
yeah, thanks for hanging out, and see you later.